What is going on, everybody? We should be live. Wanted to go live a little bit earlier. Guys in Discord said maybe 15 minutes early. So, rocking that today with the big slate. So, let's kick over here. I'm going to do a quick run through on this 5 games. I mean, there's plays everywhere. There's tons of value plays. You can jam as many studs as you want in. Like you can build like an insane balanced lineup. There's so many ways you can attack this slate. It's a really fun slate. Like you can get overloaded. Like there's so many good plays, and we don't get a lot of these 5 gamers or 6 gamers, so you can get overloaded with like trying to decide on players. Go with your gut. Like that's what I always tell people. You can like I'll try and help when I can, like how I can, as much as I can. But if you're feeling a player like and you want to play him, you absolutely should. Like I'm taking that stand today myself. There's just so many good plays. I wanted to start with that. Like we don't get very many of these slates where there's so many good plays, and a lot of them are underpriced. So let's kick over here real quick. We'll burn through this real quick, and then we'll answer a bunch of questions. On the Connecticut side, really, I only have interest in like their main 6, and then even then, like Ty Harris, she's a super deep tournament play. Would expect her to play right around 20 minutes. I think Dejanay Carrington has the safest minutes of all the guards, like between her, Harris, and Mabry, because they're going to need her to guard Caitlin Clark. She's played really well against Indiana this year as well. So I love the price tag on her. Bree Jones is fine at 8K. I think she makes for a solid tournament play. If she gets high 20s, low 30s minutes, she should easily pay off that 8K price tag. Mabry, good tournament play, good scorer. We know what kind of upside she brings as a scorer. DeWanna Bonner seems underpriced at 8,800. I think she makes for a great tournament play. And Alyssa Thomas, barely over 10K. It's tough. There's so many good plays, but I think AT is getting slept on a little bit. I mean, we know the upside that she has in these matchups. Let's find them. Indiana, 27 minutes, 41 fantasy points. She took 4 shots and put up 41 fantasy points. Then we go back here. She played the entire game and put up 60. 6-0. And then the first game of the season, she put up 52. People are sleeping on Alyssa Thomas in this matchup. Indiana. But like I said, there's just so many to choose from. It's hard to decide on who you want to play. On the Indiana side, not a lot I really like here. This matchup is brutal. We've seen Connecticut just absolutely outdog Indy every time that they've played. With that being said, Caitlin Clark, sub 20%. Anybody? I mean, who doesn't want Caitlin Clark sub 20%? I mean, one of the highest ceilings in all the WNBA. The matchup is not good. Dejanay gets all up in her business. She's going to have to show something. But great tournament play. Aaliyah Boston will be virtually unowned on this huge slate. She always comes in lower owned on smaller slates. I love her today for tournaments, especially at 10.8K, and the price is up compared to some of the other forwards. So I think she's a great tournament play. Kelsey Mitchell's she's been shooting the ball a ton. 22, 19, 17, and 23 last 4 games. If you think she continues to shoot the ball well, she's a fine tournament play. Everyone else, I'm out on. Just way too many plays on this slate. Matchup's just not very good. I think it's really the top 3 there for Indy as tournament plays, and then move on. On this Washington team, I have a lot of interest in. Atkins is underpriced at 7,800. I think Brittany Sykes looks like one of the best plays on the slate, point per dollar. Her price keeps going up, but her usage is nuts. And she's a great defender, can get you stocks. She's going to get the peripheral stats, and she's putting up 16 shots a game, and she's free of her minutes limit. I think she has like 46 fantasy points is easily attainable. I mean, who's going to stop her on Chicago? Like, honestly. And then the bigs, really everyone else, no interest in SWK with Carly Samuelson back. No interest in Van Loo, same reasoning. Then the bigs. Dolson looks good, should play high 20s minutes. Edwards should start, looks really good. She has absolutely smashed Chicago. 29 minutes here, 37 fantasy points. Then her big coming out party, 36 minutes, 52 fantasy points. When she gets extended, and she has shown the ability to absolutely smash, especially Chicago. I have a ton of interest in her. Would expect her to start. I expect Ingsler to be extremely popular following her big blow-up game last time in 18 minutes. Would expect similar minutes for her here. I don't know if they play Sikakone. They may just run these three bigs. Wouldn't shock me if Kone gets dusted off for maybe one rotation. But if Edwards and Ingsler play well, I think Kone DNPs. On the Chicago side, I love Angel Reese today. I love her for tournaments. She's going to be extremely low owned because she's 11-7. She is $400 more expensive than Nafisa Collier and $200 more expensive than Brianna Stewart. No one is going to click Angel Reese over those two players. They're just going to play the two that they know what they're going to get. Angel Reese, obviously we know her rebounding upside. 20, 20, and 22 in the last three games. 50% field goal percentage, 25%, and 25%. Not the best. If she puts a decent shooting game together, oh, by the way, Kennedy Carter's out. She may take 20 shots this game. Let's say she shoots 50% and she shoots 10 of 20. That might be a stretch, but if she shoots 10 of 20 and grabs 15 rebounds, she's going to break the slate. She is 100% going to break the slate. Now, will she actually shoot 50% if she takes 20 shots? I doubt it, but the upside is massive with a player like Angel Reese. And if you're trying to win $10,000 and not share it with a bunch of people, she's a player to keep an eye on. Camila Cardoso looks great, 8,700. Minutes have been way up. I think she makes for a great tournament play. I think all the starters. I think you can play Lindsey Allen in tournaments. I think you can play Wnba in tournaments. I'm expecting Bantam to start and play close to 30 minutes. Everyone else, I'm pretty much out on. I don't think you have to play Dana Evans, even though I'm expecting her to play 10 to 12 minutes. I have no clue what's going on with Izzy Harrison. Her minutes have disappeared. They're just playing Reese practically the entire game and Cardoso mid-30s minutes, and it's just killed Izzy Harrison. So really can't recommend her, especially with the clear value on Washington and the more we're going to talk about in a second. Mo Jefferson should play 10 to 12 minutes. Don't think she's needed on this slate. On the New York side, I'm going to keep it real simple with this game. I do not expect this game to be competitive. First game out of the break, New York blew the doors off the Sparks. And now they are fully healthy, and Laney's back. Everyone's healthy. Everyone's playing. I would be surprised if this game's competitive. It could be, and this game would smash if it's close because the Sparks are terrible on defense. So you have to take a stand. You either fade this game and hope it blows out, or you play pieces out of this game and hope it stays competitive. If this game was to stay competitive, the big three for New York look amazing. Jonquel Jones, sub 10K, sign me up. Sabrina, 10K. She's going to shoot well one of these slates and go wild. And then Stewie, obviously we know the upside she has. Sloot's been playing well, should play mid-20s minutes. Perfectly fine play for tournaments. I have no interest in paying $6,800 for Febich. Her minutes are ticking down, and her usage on this team with everyone back is not going to be very strong. Benaja Laney, 6,400. Would expect her to start tonight, even if she doesn't. She played 27 minutes off the bench. She's a perfectly fine play at that price point. Everyone else on this team, I'm out on. On the Spark side, not a lot to love here. I think if you're playing anybody, you're probably dipping down and playing like an Azura Stevens at sub 8K. I don't think you play Wnba at 10.3K. I think there's much better plays around her. Rakia Jackson, 8,900. The upside is there for tournaments. That's just a very steep price for someone that her floor is very, very low, even single digits. Odyssey Sims seems overpriced. This is the best defense that they're going up against. They're going from playing Dallas, who plays like negative defense, to the toughest defense. So I just don't see this game staying competitive. Minnesota at Phoenix. On the Minnesota side, I like the starters. I think Fee looks fantastic. She's been playing at an MVP level. Courtney Williams, a bit overpriced, but the matchup is good. Alana Smith looks great, but can she stay out of foul trouble? That's the $1 million question. Kayla McBride, matchup is great. Always can get hot shooting threes. Carrollton, same thing. Matchup's great. Can get hot shooting threes. Needs to hit her threes to hit value, though. Same thing with Kayla McBride. And then if you think Alana Smith gets in foul trouble and you are making a bunch of lineups, I think you can consider Misha Hines-Allen. The problem is if Alana Smith does not get in foul trouble, this is what you can expect. One rotation for Misha Hines-Allen. Now, if Alana Smith gets in foul trouble like she did in these 2 games, Misha Hines-Allen is a good fantasy point per minute player. So you can get someone cheap there, and she's a great pivot off of the Washington bigs, but she comes with a lot more risk. On the Phoenix side, this is tough. Minnesota's a good defense. It is at home, though, so that makes me like their players a little bit more, especially DT. I think you can play her at 7,700. I think the price is a bit too low for her. I think Sophie's a fine play at 6,900. Cloud's a bit overpriced for me. Clea Copper, 9,800. It's her birthday. If you want to buy into that. She's been really, really scoring dependent, though. I mean, wouldn't shock me if she puts up like 25 real-life points and barely cracks 30 fantasy points. And on a slate like this, I don't know. She's going to be super, super low owned. You're playing for that if you play her. BG, 10.2K, looks solid. Not someone I'm rushing to play, but I think you can in tournaments. Everyone else, I'm pretty much out on at their price point. Last game of the night, Atlanta at Seattle. On the Atlanta side, a lot of news we're still waiting on. Powers and Parker are out. Alicia Gray is questionable. I think it's really 50-50 if she plays or not. If she does not, probably means my Caldwell enters the starting lineup. She would look good as a value play. Jordan Canada would get a bump. Ryan Howard would get a bump like she needs it. She's going to shoot the ball 20 times no matter what. Tina Charles, my favorite play on this team. She's got a great matchup here, and she's been playing 34 minutes a game and commanding a lot of usage and grabbing a lot of rebounds. So I think if for cash, Tina Charles, tournaments, I think you can absolutely still play Charles, Ryan Howard, Canada. If Gray's out, I think you can play Caldwell. But I'm not crazy about this game as a whole. Seattle's defense is better at home, and they're getting Gabby back to full speed. On the Seattle side, NECA, perfectly fine as a cash play. Don't think I'm super interested in tournaments. I just don't think her ceiling is consistent enough to really pop in tournaments. Joel Lloyd, 9,700, always mention her ceiling for tournaments. She can go crazy. Ezzy Magdagor, another perfectly fine tournament play. She's just not been shooting the ball very much, which limits her upside. SDS, love her at 9,100. She's starting to shoot the ball a lot more. Horston, I'm out on. Minutes are headed to the gutter. Gabby Williams, one of the best value plays in the slate. Once again, only 5,600. Played 26 minutes in her first game back. 3-4-4 with 3 steals. That's just a Gabby Williams stat line. And she's going to shoot a little bit better. So I think she touches like 28 to 30 minutes. And if she shoots well, she's probably going to find the optimal. So, all right, let's see here. Let's go. I'm pumped for this slate. I went and got a haircut and my beard trimmed. I'm ready to win 10 grand. You like playing Dolson and Edwards together? I think it's perfectly fine. I think you can play 2 of them together. I personally would prefer Edwards and Ingsler, but Dolson's going to come in lower owned. And Big Mama, she's shown some muscle. Like people think that she's just going to get run over by Camila Cardoso and Angel Reese. That's not Big Mama. Yep. I was surprised when I first saw it that Reese was more than Stewart. That's what I love about this slate is it makes it where like nobody's going to click Reese. Like I've seen people talking like Reese is going to be popular. no one is clicking Angel Reese over Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier. Like, if they have that salary, they're going to click them and then go up somewhere else. Like, I would be shocked if Angel Reese is higher than like 12 to 15%. I know who I'm going with, but would you go Sloot or Mabry? Man, I just worry about Mabry's like minutes cap. Like, that's my biggest worry with her. I probably would still lean Mabry just with the offensive upside. Like, let's see here. Where's she at? Like, she's been stuck like 26, 25, 26. These first two games for Connecticut, she got a ton of minutes. Then they started tricking them down when she went to the bench. 26, 25, 26. Now she's shooting the ball when she's out there. If she's going to get the peripheral stats and score 12 to 15 real life points, I lean Mabry. Now, the problem is what minutes can we expect from Sloot and the possibility of a blowout. So I'd go Mabry and just hope that maybe she gets extended a little bit. Yep, I love me some Angel Reese today. I mean, I'm representing. I have to. I've talked so much. All right, so there's starters for the Sun. Mabry coming off the bench. So we've got that. Let's see here. My man Carl. I appreciate the super chat. That's awesome. I appreciate it. Congrats on 500. I appreciate that. If you had to target one game tonight, which would it be? Man, if I'm like putting all my chips in, I'm circling this Washington-Chicago game. Just with the value in it. Like, I mean, you've got Aaliyah Edwards, you've got Emily Ingsler, you've got Rachel Banham. These are three of the four best value plays, in my opinion, in one game. And then you have one of the best point per dollar plays in the slate in Brittany Sykes. Like, I love this game, obviously, and Angel Reese, like I've talked about her ad nauseum so far, but I love this game. Obviously, this over-under is not the best, but I think this game has sneaky just blow-up potential. And then, like, obviously, the New York Sparks game, if you think that game stays competitive, that game is going to be high scoring because New York's going to score. It just depends if the Sparks can keep up. I just don't think they can. But I'm really, really interested in that Washington-Chicago game. I just think Chicago, they've condensed their offense down so much, and now you're pulling Kennedy Carter out, and it's going to condense it even more. So I think it's just a smash spot for a super condensed rotation for pretty much both teams and the best value plays in the slate. So I love that game. I have a ton of it. I got 2 lines on DraftKings and a line on FanDuel, and I'm pretty sure most of my exposure is in that game in pretty much every line. I appreciate the super chat, Byborg. I really do. I appreciate you guys. I'm glad the super chats are working. I wanted to see how it would work. I got something special for you. I'll DM you in Discord once the stream's over, since you guys were the first ones to do anything. Congrats on 500, partner. I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate it. Let's win some money on Underdog too. I appreciate it. Yeah, I needed it. I was struggling, and I won't even attempt to trim my beard anymore because I just butcher it. So I have to go to somebody. Gray or Atkins? I would just play Atkins. I think it's truly 50-50 if Gray plays. I guess if you wanted to play Gray, you would have the pivot just directly to Canada. I like Gray over Atkins like straight up, but I think this is a good spot for Ariel Atkins. Like, she's not had, like, she had this big game against Seattle where she shot 9 of 16. The only issue with her is her peripheral stats have not been the best. And with Brittany Sykes around, they're even lower. So she needs to score. She needs to have a good scoring game. So I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna go Alicia Gray, and if she's out, I would just drop down here and play Canada. I think that's the way to go. I think Lindsey Allen is a solid play at her price point. I think she's going to play huge minutes, probably somewhere neighborhood of like 30 to 32. Obviously, I like other plays around her a little bit more, but 30 and 34 minutes. Obviously, like when she has good games, it's when she's scoring in double figures in real life points. Her offensive upside isn't the best, but no Kennedy Carter. There's 20 shots to go around this offense, and they've just been playing their starters a ton. So I won't try and talk you out of Lindsey Allen. Haley Jones a good value if Gray doesn't play. I just don't know. I don't think they would extend her. I think the one that would see additional minutes would be Maya Caldwell, because that's who they went to when Gray got hurt. I just don't see them running Jordan Canada, Haley Jones, and Ryan Howard as the 3 guards. Like Haley Jones can't play off the ball, and Jordan Canada, you're taking all of her like playmaking ability away if you take her off the ball. I mean, she's not a spot up shooter, so I would probably stay away from Haley Jones. I just don't think she's going to get that much additional run if Gray's out. Yep, I love Emily Inkster. I think she's going to be extremely popular, mostly because she absolutely nuked last game. But at 4,400, she's just priced too cheap. I'm expecting 18 to 20 minutes, and she could put up 25 fantasy points in 18 minutes. She's a good fantasy point per minute player. She can play. She just rarely ever gets the minutes, but I think she's one of the best value plays on the slate. It'll be more when I win that 10K. Now, hey, I hope you do it. If I don't win it, I hope somebody in here wins 10 grand. And then if you're playing on underdog, I hope somebody wins, what is it, 5K? 4K. 4K in the main contest and 1K in the late slate. So I hope everybody wins money. I appreciate the $5. So that's awesome, guys. I'm going to send you a DM on Discord once the stream's over. Clark or Collier, I have to play Fee. For the discount, $700. I just think Fee is super, super safe. I think she's trying to close the gap on Asia and trying to win the MVP. She has just been super, super efficient since the Olympic break. 66%, 73%, 60, 81. Like just ridiculous efficiency. Taking 15 plus shots a night. And throw in the fact that she can get a ton of peripheral stats, and she's a good defender. Let's look when they played Phoenix, 46 earlier this year, and then 49. I think that those are the only 2 they played. I think she's going to get 45 to 50 tonight, and with the potential to go even higher. I just think this is the game that worries me with Clark. That's my only worry. Obviously, first game of her WNBA career, put 20 real-life points on the board. So one of her better scoring days, the peripheral stats just weren't there. Then you turn around and they play again. She has 31 fantasy points. The peripheral stats started to show up a little bit. Then they played their last time. She only played 22 minutes because they got the doors blown off of them. 14 fantasy points. At 12K, you are hoping for like 42 plus. If she does not score 40, you're probably just dead. And that's the worry with her. Like they're gonna trap her and force other people to beat them. That's my opinion on it. Obviously, she's still a great tournament play because she's Caitlin Clark and can do what not many other people can do, especially at her age. But I lean Fee. Like if I'm having to choose, I think Fee is the best point per dollar play on the slate. And she's one of the most expensive players on the slate. Let's see here. Thoughts on Gabby? I love Gabby Williams, both in and out of basketball. I think she looks fantastic at her price. I think it's 5,600. 5,600. She's going to play 26 to 30 minutes. I think as she gets more acclimated and used to WNBA ball again, I think she's going to re-enter the starting lineup over Horston. And then I think she's going to play like right at 30 minutes, maybe even low 30 minutes. She's just going to pitch in everywhere. She's a good passer. She's a good rebounder. She's one of the best defensive players in the world. And like her shot's going to come along. Like she can have a good shooting game and put up 30 fantasy points and be an absolute must for the optimal. So I think she's one of the best value plays on the slate for sure. Lindsey Allen or Laney. I lean Benaja Laney. I love the upside that she has at 6,200. I just think she's too cheap. 6,400, sorry. She played 27 minutes off the bench. Didn't really get many peripheral stats. Obviously a great defender, can get you some steals. But I love the upside that she has at 6,400. I would rather chase the upside than play a player that doesn't have near as much offensive upside. Mitchell or Sykes? Sykes for me, she's one of my favorite plays on the slate. I guess I am considered a Kelsey Mitchell hater because I rarely ever play her. I have no issues if you want to play her. She's going to be low owned because she's over 9K. My only worry, if I can talk, it's a lot like what I'm worried about with Clark. If she's not sinking her shots, she is going to sink your lineup because the peripheral stats, while they've been better of late, 8, 7, 5, 8, 3, 7, 3. If she gets you like 5 to 7 peripheral stats and 13 real life points, she's probably going to score like 25 fantasy points, somewhere right around there. And that's just not going to get it done. It's a really tough matchup. I prefer Sykes. Like she has the best matchup of the two. And she's just going to dominate the usage when she's on the floor. She's going to take all the shots. She's going to grab some boards. She's going to dish the ball. She's one of the best defenders in the league. So I lean Sykes over Mitchell. I may be a hater, but I'm going to ride that till the wheels fall off until Kelsey Mitchell fails. I can't do it. How would you rank the top value plays? For me, it is Aaliyah Edwards, Gabby Williams, Emily Inksler, and Rachel Banham. Those are my favorite four. Obviously, my Caldwell comes in if Alicia Gray is out. She would enter that, and she would probably actually get close, if not overtake Banham into the top four. But those are the top four. I am extremely high on Aaliyah Edwards. I think she's going to come in lower owned because people watched Emily Inksler close over her, and they may chase that. If Aaliyah Edwards starts, I think she's a lock for high 20s minutes, and she has a fantastic motor and has absolutely smashed Chicago every time that they've played. I can't get there. She's another one. I'm super happy that she's playing better. Obviously, the break was massive for her, and I'm happy to see her playing better, but I'm not going there. I like at her price range, I would just play Dejanay Carrington over. I would just play Dejanay over, or I would dip down. I would rather play Benaja Laney for $1,000 less or $800 less. So I'm out on Sloot. AT or Collier, I'm going Fee. I do love AT though, but I'm going Fee. Charles or Thomas, I like AT. I think she's going overlooked. I like AT over Charles there. Fee and SDS or Sabrina and NECA, Fee and SDS. Going to be really hard for 2v2 to get me off Nafisa Collier. I think she's the best play on the slate. Yeah, sure. Reese, I love Angel Reese as a tournament play. I think she's one of the best like tournament plays on the slate because of her price at 11.7. I think she looks great. Obviously, you need the shots to fall. Like we need this like 19 real life real life scoring game. If she gets 15 rebounds and she scores 20 real life points, she's going to put up a 50 burger and be super low owned. So I like me some Angel Reese. Let's see here. Any plays 4K or below on FanDuel you can stomach. Let's see here. Let's look at FanDuel. 4K or below. I think you can play Celeste Taylor. I'm not crazy about her minutes. She should play 9 or 10. I think Jade Melbourne's somewhat playable, not the best. I think if I'm dipping that low, it's probably for like Dana Evans or Mo Jefferson and just hope that they get the run. Like if Dana Evans plays 12 to 15 minutes, she probably pays that price tag off. Those are probably my two favorites. Or you can play someone like Haley Jones. Not a lot to like down there, but Dana Evans probably my favorite at sub 4K. Edwards or Gabby? Edwards. If I'm picking one, I'm picking the upside play in Aaliyah Edwards. Boston or Bonner? Whew. Man, Boston's so much more expensive. I think point per dollar, I would go Bonner. Like I like the spot for like if and then maybe go up somewhere else in your lineup because that's a big price difference. Aaliyah Edwards projections. So I have her projected for. Let me find her. 26 minutes and just a shade over 24 fantasy points. So I'm probably low on her to be honest. 600 too much to leave on the table. Probably there's on a 5-gamer. I probably wouldn't leave that much on the table. I would probably rebuild, find a 2v2 difference but yeah, that's probably a little bit too much. Lindsey Allen looks okay. I'm not crazy about her, but I don't think she's a bad play by any means. Let's see here. Edwards or Gabby? Edwards. I just mentioned that. Connecticut seems to be overlooked in the fast pace. Yep. There's this another thing with when you have 5 games, like there's going to be players that come in lower owned. Like all throughout the year, we've talked about how bad Indiana's defense is. Now, they blew them out the last time. Now, this one is in Indy, so I don't think they're going to blow them out. But, okay, so we've got Katie Lou available to play, but not starting. So Lexi Hull has taken her spot in the starting lineup. Anyway, sorry. I do like Connecticut. It is. I don't think it's going to be. They're going to try and slow the game down. Like that's just how they play. Obviously, Indy's going to want to try and speed it up, but it's a pretty low like offensive output. But the matchup is great. So I do like Connecticut, and they're going to be lower owned. So I have no issues going there. Sykes or AT? Oh, man. That's a big price difference too. If you have the salary, probably AT. I think I would go AT. I think on raw fantasy points, she's going to outscore Sykes most nights. Hull is starting. Yep. So another decent value play. I would have liked her a little bit better if Katie Lou was out, but she should play mid-20s minutes and looks fine. Yep, you can absolutely play Edwards and Inkster together, 100%. I think that's a way to jam in as many studs as you want up top. I know Edwards will probably get the start, play. I'm expecting 26 to 28 minutes, maybe play more if she's playing well, and Inkster to play 18 to 20. Inkster better fantasy point per minute, but both look really, really good. Edwards or Gabby, appreciate the super chat. I lean Edwards. I think Gabby's a great play though. I think both look really good. My value plays tonight are just Edwards, Gabby, and Inkster. Like those are the 3 that I'm just going to run and go with them. Edwards, Sabrina, or Gabby Fee. Gabby Fee. I love me some Aaliyah Edwards, but give me Fee. Favorite utility on DK 5,400 and lower, probably just Emily Inksler. I think she's just going to be the best. Yep, Emily Inksler. So that leaves an extra, 1K? Yeah, so it leaves an extra 1K if you want to go pay up somewhere else. I just prefer her over anybody in that range. I think she's going to see close to 20 minutes, and she's by far the best fantasy point per minute player of anybody down in that range. Thoughts on Cardosa? I haven't seen this question yet. This is one that I was waiting on. I think she looks pretty solid for tournaments. Her minutes have been ticking up of late. Let's see here. She's played, obviously, the biggest worry with her is she can be a little foul prone. She likes to hack a shack. But if she doesn't get in foul trouble, 37 and 32 minutes in the last 2 games. Obviously, her offensive upside is not exactly what we love to see when targeting like for DFS purposes. But as her prices went up, she's played a lot better. 8 or 5 stocks, 15 peripheral stats last game. She's a great rebounder. She's pretty much out there for her defense and her rebounding. If she grabs a couple offensive boards and gets you some putbacks, gets a double-double, I think she makes for a solid tournament play. Any players to target if the New York game's a blowout? I don't think we really have to go there. Since there's 5 games, if it was a smaller slate, you might consider it for tournaments. But I just can't get there. I can't play like a Thornton or a Baby Sabali or a Burke over the value that we have. I just don't think they're going to get there. If you run the sim like 100 times and the game blows out, 66% of the time, I think it's well over 90% that Edwards, Inksler, Gabby, all those girls still outscore them. So I don't think we need to do that. Thoughts on Ryan? She's going to shoot it. That is my main thoughts with her. And if Alicia Gray's out, she's going to shoot it even more. So I like her for tournaments. I'm a huge fan. I'm not playing her tonight, so she's probably going to go crazy because every time I play her recently, she's not done well. So I think she makes for a great tournament play. Sims projections, I'm down on Sims. I got her at 27 minutes. Hold on. 27 minutes and a little over 20 fantasy points. Inksler or Bantam? Inksler for me. Fee over Stewie? Yep. That's what I'm doing. I think Fee's best play on the slate. Stewie Boston? Stewie. It could be. It could be. I mean, Boston's not the best defender. She'll give to get. Like she'll give you a bucket if you give her a bucket. They're kind of about that life. So I have no it's been a long day. I have no issues playing Bree Jones. And early in the season, we nailed the Bree Jones blow up game and 8K. This is one of the cheapest you're going to get her. The only worry is, 25 minutes last game, no foul trouble. Olivia Nelson-Adota played better and got extended because of it. So that's a little bit weird. But if she plays low 30s minutes, she's going to pay off her salary 100%. Stewie or Boston, Stewie. I feel like Howard was smack. I love Ryan Howard. I love the upside that she has. Any night, she's going to shoot it. She will never get discouraged. If she was ever going to, it was this last game against Indy when she started 1 of 9 and 0 of 5 from 3 and couldn't buy anything. She's just going to shoot. We look here, the last game against Seattle, 51 fantasy points. Big ceiling. A lot of my wins, some of my biggest wins, I've played Ryan Howard at sub 10% ownership, and she's absolutely just nuked. So I love her as a tournament play. She's one of my favorites. I'm not playing her, but she is one of my favorite tournament plays. I tried like hell to get her on FanDuel. I just couldn't. Lindsey Allen is playable. I like other players in that range a little bit more, but she absolutely is playable. Minutes are key for her. Thoughts on Van Loo? I'm out with Carly Samuelson back. I just think they're going to eat into each other's minutes. Van Loo, Carly, and SWK. I can't get there with all the other value. I'm zoned in on the key value plays. Sabrina or Ryan? Oh man! See if Sabrina's game stays competitive, it's Sabrina. If that New York game blows out, it's Ryan Howard. So you just make a stand. If you think New York blows them out, play Ryan Howard. If you think the Sparks keep that game competitive, I would play Sabrina. I think it's truly a coin flip, and that would be the decider is if the game blows out or not. Hamby Newt game incoming. I'd love to see it, but she hasn't shown the ability to do it of late. They've just been spreading the usage out so much. I appreciate the super chat, guys. I really do. It's super cool to see these. These are awesome. I appreciate it. It's been a blast. I'm not looking forward to the season being over. Like I'll have to figure out some other stuff to do. Allen AT or Sykes DT. I may go Lindsey Allen AT. I think AT is going to come in like single digit ownership, and this is a good spot for her. So I'll lean the first one there. Cardoso Laney or Edward Sykes. Edward Sykes. Yeah, for me. I love those Washington plays. Hard hitting questions. Yep, that one's tough. How many players would you play in the Washington-Chicago game? I think you can play up to 4. I think the sweet spot's probably 3 because on a 5-gamer, if that game kind of dulls and busts, you don't want to just be immediately dead. Like if you're playing the 2 value plays and then 2 other plays, and like the 2 other plays don't hit, the value plays should hit just on volume alone. But I wouldn't go too heavy in that game because there's 5 to choose from. That's my advice on that. Skylar might smash. Yep. Yeah, she's just firecracker. And she will say what's on her mind. She does not care. But the usage has been way up for her of late. Only 10 shots this last game, 17, 17, and 21. The 3 games before that, playing big minutes, looking a lot more comfortable on that team, which is key. So I do think SDS is a solid play tonight. Caldwell, she looks really good if Alicia Gray is out. She will be, and she'll be lower owned because it's a late game. And I doubt we get the news until after this early window of these 2 games are pretty well over before we get that news. So she's going to be lower owned. Dolson or Bree? I think I'd just go Bree. Like I like Big Mama, but Bree's just so much safer. I love Dejanay tonight. She has played extremely well versus Indy all season. Let's see. Let's kick back down here. Opening night, 26 fantasy points, then 27 in the second game, then 40 in the last game. It's like her defense on Clark, like when she starts to piss her off, it like gives her life and makes her shoot the ball better. Like I'm pretty high on Dejanay tonight. All of the Washington, Seattle. Yep. I tried loading up as much as I could on underdog. So Lexi Hull's fine. I would just rather play like the premier value for me. But I think she's going to play mid-20s minutes. And if she hits some threes, she's a fine pivot off of the Washington value and Gabby Williams. I think it's truly 50-50. I don't have a lean, but I really do think it's truly 50-50 if she plays or not. What are your top value plays came in late? So you got the 2 Washington bigs value, Leah Edwards, Emily Inksler, Gabby Williams for Seattle, and Rachel Banham for Chicago. Those are the top 4. If Alicia Gray is out, Maya Caldwell enters that conversation and probably would jump ahead of Rachel Banham. Atkins bounce back. I love the price tag for her. I think if there's ever a game for her to bounce back, it's this one. Nalissa Smith, I can't do it. I just can't. Her minutes are, you just never know what you're going to get out of her. If she struggles to start the game, she may play 10 minutes, but she is too cheap if she's going to play mid-20s. SDS, Inksler, and Sabrina, or Reese, Banham, Laney. The first one, SDS, Inksler, Sabrina. Have Canada. Yep, I think I have Canada in one of my lineups right now. I'm probably playing her either way. I like the spot for her going up against SDS, but she would look a little bit better if Alicia Gray was to miss. So we have hit lock. Obviously, just one game locking, so I don't expect to see a lot of ownership in this first game. Let's see here. I do want to see it, though. Got different running Bonner, ATM, Bree. I mean, if that game pops, those are the three of the best plays from this first game. Like Bree's underpriced. I think Bonner's underpriced. I think AT's underpriced and probably going to be underowned. That's what I'm really excited to see. I want to see AT's ownership. Let's see here. So I played Dejanay Carrington. She is 5%. I am very happy with that. And then in my other lineup, I played Dewana Bonner, who is 14%. We've got Alyssa Thomas. Alyssa Thomas is 31%. Whoa, I did not expect that. Boston, 4%. I did not expect Alyssa Thomas to get that much ownership. Wow. Okay, I was way off on that projection. Jeez. Way off on that one. Bree Jones, 7% at 8K. That's good value for those that played her. Man, that's really surprising with AT. Caitlin Clark, 20%. So we were right about that, right at 20%. I mean, if you played her, this is the lowest owned Caitlin Clark you're probably going to get all year. And then there's I don't see a lot else. I didn't figure this game would be that popular. We got Dantas at 1%. Like a lot of the lower tier value plays that aren't in like crazy smash spots like Washington and Gabby Williams. They're going to like on a 5-gamer, you're going to see a lot of 1%, a lot of 2%, a lot of 5% on like the cheaper plays where people are MMEing and just pretty much filling the board on who they want to play and everything. Yeah, that really surprises me on AT's ownership. I'm really surprised at that. I really can't believe it. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm really happy with Dejanay's ownership. Sub 5% Dejanay, sub 15% Dewana Bonner. Oh, let me look on FanDuel. Let's see. I don't think I played anyone in this first game. I did not. All right. So don't even need to look at FanDuel. I don't have anybody there. Yeah, that's crazy. I can't believe that. All right, anybody got any more questions before we get out of here? No games tomorrow, so no YouTube video tonight. I'll actually get to go and just sit down and relax and watch these games and keep an eye on Underdog. I'm just ready. I want this Washington-Chicago game to go crazy. That's what I'm hoping for. Let's see here. I don't think I have anything else there. All right, guys. I think that's going to do it for me. Was a little bit longer of a stream. Was fun. I love these bigger slates. Only 17 slates left for WNBA this year. I think only like 4 Showdown slates. So a lot of big slates coming up. We got a couple 6 6 games, a couple more 5s, quite a few 4s. So a lot of big slates to close out the year. On these bigger slates, I probably will start doing like 45-minute streams just because there's a lot more games, a lot more questions to be asked and answered. So, let's see here. Good luck, everybody. Good luck. SDS or Williams? SDS or Courtney Williams? I lean SDS there. And then let's see here. Strategy for the Showdown slate. I don't even know if I've looked at it. Let's see. Minnesota and Phoenix. Probably, let me look at my projection, see what. Throw a core out here. So pricing, obviously fees $11K. Whoa, what's going on? I think Diana Taurasi's underpriced at $7K. I think she looks pretty good. She's probably one of the better point per dollar plays. Let's see what else. I think Sophie Cunningham looks pretty good at 6K. Pretty much like the cheaper starters for Phoenix, like DT. Let's click over here. Obviously, the prices aren't right on here, but DT's playing well over 30 minutes a game. I think point per dollar wise, she looks really good on the Showdown. Sophie continuing to play over 30 minutes every game. She doesn't get in foul trouble. I think both of them look good at their price point. Obviously, like fee, you should 100% play fee. Maybe even try and sneak her in the captain. But I think this is a Showdown where you could get away from that. Let's see what else. I think I might like Copper more than BG at like that $400 price difference. I think I'd rather just play Kalia Copper for the discount. I'm not playing Natasha Cloud at 8,800. Then like Alana Smith looks pretty good at 8K, but can she stay out of foul trouble? I like Kayla McBride, 7,400. I think that's a good price. Then like cheap plays, Celeste Taylor's going to see the floor. She's probably going to see the most minutes of anybody. Like if you're punting or just wanting to play like a super, super cheap play, 2,800 Celeste Taylor. Zandalacini will get 1, maybe 2 rotations at 3,200. And then another thing with the Showdown, like what's fun is since it's not a full slate, you can take more shots on like Misha Hines-Allen, who can get there. Like all she needs is Alana Smith foul trouble, and she's going to smash. If Alana Smith gets in foul trouble, Misha Hines-Allen will absolutely be in the optimal when it comes down to the end of that game. So you can take a stand, maybe play her. I don't hate it. So I'm excited for that one. I gotta build my lineup. Let's see here. That's gonna be fun. I'm ready to watch that. Edwards or Gabby? I already have Inkster. Edwards. I would just play both. Dejanay 3 steals in 2 minutes. You love to see it. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, she's cooking. She's in her bag, man. I don't know what it is about her and Clark. Like she can pick Clark's pocket and it pisses her off. Yeah, that's crazy. Dejanay, she's probably gonna nuke. I love it though at 4%. But that's gonna do it for me, guys. If you guys have any other questions, just hop in the Discord. I'll be in there all night. I'm gonna go find me something to eat though, and then get started on a Showdown lineup. But good luck to everybody. Hope to see someone take down the 10 grand up top. So we'll see you guys Friday slate. I think it's a 3 or 4 gamer. So we'll see you guys then. Good luck.